why silver could be today's best hedge against record high stocks, and how to add it to your savings or retirement accounts. The industry's best research is free. Don't wait. Call today and get insured delivery free on your first order. Call 1-800-341-7443. That's 1-800-341-7443. 1-800-341-7443. Call now.
You wouldn't ignore signs of damage in your home. Are you sure you're not ignoring them in your body? Even if you're treating your Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, an occasional flare may be a sign of damage and inflammation. And if you ignore the signs, the more debilitating your symptoms could become. Learn more about the role damaging inflammation may be playing in your symptoms with the expert advice at CodEZ.com. And then speak with your gastroenterologist.
A message from the Pulaski Law Firm. A government study reports thousands of workers have been diagnosed with asbestos-related mesothelioma. To compensate those affected, asbestos trusts have been established with $30 billion in initial funding. You may be entitled to financial compensation without ever going to court. Act now. Call 1-800-950-MESO for a free consultation. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, get the best care available. Then call us. Mesothelioma, don't fight it alone.
We all want that little black dress moment, that look good, feel good moment. But when you're overweight, it's more like little black dress. I don't even want to get dressed. I'm tired, my knees hurt. I'm not going up those stairs again moment. You know what I'm saying? I'm Marie and I lost 50 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Now you can lose weight fast with Nutrisystem's Fast 5 Plus. Lose 5 pounds in your first week, plus 1 inch off your waist for your money back guarantee.
You'll get perfectly portioned meals that are ready in minutes. So there's no counting, no measuring, no guesswork. Simple.
Order your 28-day Nutrisystem plan right now, including Fast 5 Plus. Get 1 week of specially selected meals, plus you'll get 1 week of energizing shakes free, and 1 week of Breaking Crusher shakes free.
This is your moment. Don't wait. Start looking and feeling great today.
Call now. 888-316-9 and leave your first 5 pounds fast.
Fox Report now, more of the headlines here on the Fox News Desk. Amanda Knox's ex-boyfriend says he feels like a kidnapping victim who's finally free. Last week, Italy's highest court cleared Knox and him of killing her roommate almost 8 years ago in what prosecutors called a drug-fueled sex game. He says he's relieved to be out of the limbo, but needs time to heal.
The wounds inside my soul, inside my heart, it's very hard to erase them.
He says he's sorry relatives of the victim, Meredith Kircher, were disappointed by the verdict, but he insists he had nothing to do with her reported murder. The former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert facing up to 5 years in prison after a court convicted him of corruption charges. Prosecutors say he illegally took money from an American supporter. His lawyers say they plan to appeal. And here in the United States, a dog helped return a Purple Heart that went missing 25 years ago. As the story goes, the pup dug up the metal in the backyard of a home in Denver. The owners tracked down the daughter of the Korean War vet, and the dog gave her the Purple Heart at the cemetery where her father is buried.
It's a miracle. That's what it is. It's a God-sent miracle.
I was glad that we could do this for her dad.
We have no word on how the metal ended up in the backyard in the first place. Jurors in Boston today looked at the blood-stained, shredded clothing of an 8-year-old boy who died during the marathon bombings nearly 2 years ago. And that happened just before prosecutors rested their case in the trial of the accused bomber. The state's chief medical examiner took the stand and described in detail the boy's autopsy report. He said the child, Martin Richard, suffered injuries to almost every part of his body. He was the youngest of the 3 who died. More than 260 others were injured. The defense acknowledges that Jakar Tsarnaev did it, but claims his older brother was the mastermind behind the attack. The feds say the surviving suspect and his brother, his late brother, planted 2 pressure cooker bombs stuffed with metal shrapnel. The other brother died in a shootout with police days later. The suspect could face the death penalty if the jurors convict him. Criminal defense attorney Evangelina Gomez joins us live now. Death penalty, what do you think?
Well, this is the issue here, Shep.
I definitely think there are no mitigating factors that are going to be able to persuade a jury to give him life in prison. The only way you may have one jury who decides to go away from the rest of the pack is if this jury is morally opposed to the death penalty. In that circumstance, I could see this happening. But there are no mitigating factors here. Look, the defense is not going to put him on the stand. They have this Hail Mary defense. Know where the strategy is going to go. The mitigating factors, he was young, he was immature, he was under the control of his brother. That's really hard to believe, given that it appears he's more intelligent out of the two. And I just don't see a jury buying it.
They've been careful not to relitigate here. They're not talking about whether he did it or he didn't do it. They've copped to that.
Oh, but let me tell you something. If the defense decides to put him on the stand for the death penalty phase, big mistake, this case is just going to go down. The best strategy the defense has is if they use friends, families, and experts who can go and put forth his defense, because they're going to be much more empathetic. A prosecutor is not going to hit them in a heavy-handed way because they're going to want to go soft on them because they're not going to want to turn off the jurors.
Those witnesses would want to paint a picture of this young man as a life worth saving.
Exactly. He was 19, he was young, he had dropped out of college, he was confused, his parents were abroad, he didn't have anyone to look up to. But given the gravity of this crime, I mean, how is that a mitigating factor? You have tons of people who are dead, 3 victims who are dead, and tons of people who, for their lives, they're never going to be the same. They lost body parts, their whole lives have been changed. This is not a situation where one person is murdered, and you're just not going to see that here.
Part of jury selection, isn't it part of the goal, on the court's part at least, to weed out those who have some sort of moral problem with whatever the process
is? It is the goal, but it's not always successful.
And the thing is that would that be jury nullification if in the end someone said, yeah, they're mitigating, they're only aggravating factors, there are no mitigating factors, here's the scale, and yet I don't think the government ought to be killing people on behalf of the people somehow.
A juror's not going to use that language. They'll say something was a mitigating factor. His age was a mitigating factor. That's the reason why he deserves to spend life in prison as opposed to getting the death penalty. They'll craft it in the language that the defense is going to be using in the death penalty case.
But in reality, you'd be Americans are not doing this. That's the only way we think he might get saved.
Someone thinks that, but doesn't verbalize it.
Well, we're close now. Evangeline Gomez, for the family, I hope this comes to a just end soon.
I'm sure all the victims feel that way, and everyone who's watching it, this case feels the same way.
Evangeline, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, somebody reportedly revealed President Obama's passport number, and not just that, other personal information in an email, along with information on dozens of other world leaders. Like, just emailed it out. So I don't even know exactly how this sort of thing happens. I mean, how do you get to know POTUS's? And I was wondering as well, if you're POTUS and you land in some other country, Lil's here, do you have to show your passport?
I'm guessing he doesn't have to stand in line, but I think that they look at everything, and because it was an immigration worker. So basically, last year November, Australia hosted the G20 summit, and had.
Oh, that was quite an event.
Oh yeah.
She wasn't happy about that.
Well, no. Oh, she was happy here. But it had more than 30 world leaders, including Russian President Vladimir Putin, German Chancellor Merkel, Chinese President Xi, and our President Barack Obama. And before the summit even started, an immigration worker accidentally emailed out some information to the Asian Soccer League organizing people. It's kind of easy to do. You think that you're emailing your coworker, and I made these names up, but at Georgia, just your emails, and who you need to send it to, but send it to George at the Soccer League. And this email unfortunately had passport numbers, visa numbers, dates of birth for all these leaders. And the crazy thing was they didn't tell anybody. The only reason we know is that the Guardian was snooping around using some Australian Freedom of Information Act and saw this exchange where the immigration worker was freaking out, and so that's how we know, but they think it's all
Falls are the #1 cause of injury to senior citizens. Acorn Stairlifts has a solution. Just don't fall. Sit, relax, ride with an Acorn Stairlift, the world's leader in stairlifts. Don't let limited mobility keep you from going up and down your stairs, even outside. Call Acorn Stairlifts now for a free information kit and no obligation quote. It's more affordable than you think. Why risk falling when you can safely ride?
The acorn makes me feel like I'm somebody. I belong in this house.
The Acorn standard has padded seat and backrest, safety sensors stop the chair if there are obstacles, the seat swivels and locks so you don't twist your body, and the Acorn stairlift folds away, and it even runs during power outages.
It was manufactured. It was no question it was the best way to go.
Call 1-800-707-5098 right now for your free information kit, or visit our website today.
Marco Rubio joins the fight from the presidency to foreign policy. The senator takes the hottest issues head on. The conversation you can, and it's right after your word.
Cox Business Voice Solutions lets you focus on what you do best. Run your business, whether you're in the office, at home, or on the go. This is worry-free, this is great phone. In the cloud. Switch your confidence.
Attention homeowners. Quicken Loans has some very important information regarding the U.S. government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HAQQ. Nearly 3 million homeowners have already taken advantage of this fantastic money-saving program. But there are so many more of you who could be saving hundreds of dollars every month on your mortgage. Quicken Loans is here to help you save money. Why Quicken Loans? The home loan experts at Quicken Loans fully understand the HAQQ guidelines. We'll work with you to understand your specific circumstances and strive to find the financial solution that's best for you. Then we'll guide you through each step of the mortgage refinance process to make sure that it's both simple and easy. If you weren't HAQQ eligible in the past, new guidelines could mean that now you are. Give us a call and we'll give you a Quicken Loans mortgage review. It's simple and easy. To learn more about this money-saving U.S. government program, call Quicken Loans today or go to QuickenLoans.com for a mortgage experience that's engineered to amaze.
And the winner for the year's Best Award Show goes to the 2015 MTV Movie Awards, where actors become champions and hot boys didn't go. If the nominees can't take the lead, then they can get out of the box office. Because when you act, you actually win. The MTV Movie Awards hosted by Amy Schumer, Sunday from 12 to 8, only on MTV. To advertise on MTV, call Cox Media at 1-855-755-2691.
A Veterans Affairs hospital is under investigation now after a federal report found that doctors overprescribed narcotics to some of our nation's vets. Some patients nicknamed the facility Candyland because of how easily they can get painkillers. Where is it, you may be asking? Well, to relatives it's not funny. Relatives of the victims testifying in front of a congressional hearing today near the hospital in central Wisconsin. Among them, the family of a 35-year-old Marine veteran who died last year of an overdose. It happened just 2 days after doctors prescribed him an opiate medication in addition to the 14 other drugs he regularly took. Mike Tobin's live outside the hearing in Wisconsin. What witnesses have testified so far today?
Well, you mentioned the family of Jason Simkoski. Congressmen and senators heard from his parents today. Jason Simkoski is a Marine who died